Okay. Welcome back to Morgan Talks Comics. We are back after a little bit of a break, which Eliza Mariah is going to explain.
Well, just health problems and life, really. We've learned a lesson. So many apologies for missing the time, but we've learned a lesson. We're quite new to this, as you probably realise, and that is to have a couple of backup for when emergencies happen. So we'll try and do better in the future. And if we don't do better in the future, you can write in comments an opinion.
Absolutely. So we've had a few health issues, and we've got two new additions to the house. We have kittens again after a very long time.
People might think I've had twins. That ship sailed.
Yeah. So we've actually got a couple of little kittens running around the house. We don't know if they're going to make an appearance here.
And if they make too much of an appearance, they're going into their room.
Yeah.
They've got a whole room.
Yeah, they're going to get put away and they can amuse themselves during our room. So, welcome back. This time round, we are looking at Demon Wars #1 by Peach Momoko.
I'm very pleased to see it's a #1. Sorry.
Quite all right.
I couldn't help myself. That it's actually logically started in the beginning. I don't like things which are not logical. Is that a Japanese name?
Yeah, so Peach it's her pen name. Not exactly sure what her real name is, but everyone knows her as Peach Momoko. She's a Japanese artist.
Does Momoko mean something in Japanese? Have you looked it up?
I couldn't find a translation for it, no.
Right.
But Peach sort of burst onto the scene, I think, about 10 years ago. Not that long ago. She has this beautiful sort of painted style, and I think when she sort of started out, she was very popular for doing variant covers, doing covers for other people. She's worked with Stan Sakai on Usagi Yojimbo that we've talked about before.
Hasn't everybody?
It's popular, but I'll get into that in a little bit more detail afterwards. Yeah.
Well, I've started off realising it's a she. It's like a woman. And how long has she been working? In other words, is she very, very young or?
She is quite young. I think she's in her early 30s. She is quite young.
Depends how old you are, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
That's young to me.
Yeah, young to me as well. But Peach, it kind of almost seems a little bit like she's become an overnight success because she got picked up by Marvel, who are one of the biggest publishers. She got picked up by Marvel quite early, and she's done a lot of this retelling of like Marvel Universe stories in a Japanese style. So she dives into Japanese folklore and literature, with spirits and so on. And this series, Demon Wars, is from, I can't believe it's actually 4 years ago. I thought it was more recent than that. But anyway, this is kind of a retelling of like Japanese folklore, but using Marvel superheroes, and you will see if you can guess who they are as they go along.
Oh, look, there's one of our kittens.
Yeah, it is one of our kittens.
Am I allowed to ask who, or do we get to that later?
We get to that later.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you know what that says down there?
No, I don't. So I unfortunately I don't actually know an awful lot of Japanese.
No, I thought you might have looked it up already.
No, I didn't.
Could be something really, really rude.
It could just be Demon Wars.
Or her name.
I think Peach does sign in kanji, which is Japanese letters. I think she signs in both. Anyway,
I'd vote for her name, I think.
So let's dive in.
Oh, nice bright page. Is that advertising?
So that was advertising for the 4th Thor film that came out. It was out. Gosh, well, it would have been 2022 because that's when this comic came out.
Is this saying the same thing as on the front?
Yes, it is. So I'm assuming that this translates to Demon Wars.
I'm assuming it translates. I'm still assuming it says that to a name, but that might be a name, I tell.
Yeah. So there's a bit of introductory text here to explain what's going on. and it's saying that this is Marvel Universe like you've never seen it before, because this is Peach retelling.
Is it from a woman's point of view?
I guess, yeah, because Peach tends to have a female protagonist, which I think is a really good thing, you know, because comics still tends to be quite male dominated.
Yes, we were talking the other day about when they're female, that they're over sort of sexualised.
Absolutely, yeah.
But you said you hadn't bought any of those, so that's quite handy.
Yeah.
We don't have to discuss it, but
Yeah.
yeah. So she's doing it properly, like normal people.
She's doing it, yeah. So it starts off with really lovely, bright watercolour. She tends to use quite bright tones of colours. So she works in brush and ink.
Is this words or is it?
So I think what she's doing here, what Peach is doing here with the lettering, comics use lettering for sound effects. So, you know, like smack and bonk and things
Are they
like that.
Japanese versions?
So it's the Japanese versions. I think we're supposed to understand from the way these words are coming up. Badum. I think it's like a heartbeat. So there's a kanji, you know, Japanese letters there, and then there's the English next to it, which is quite common that you'll see in manga as well, in Japanese comics.
Except I can't read any of it. Might as well all be Japanese.
Yeah.
But you can read those.
Yeah.
So could you read them?
So it says badum badum. It's like, I think it's a heartbeat. It's supposed to be.
Oh, it's all a heartbeat.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a heartbeat. So we see two mountains, and then we come across a Tory Gate. What?
Oh, there was a dog moving the microphone. But now that she's very still again, I think we can just ignore it.
Yeah.
She's leaning on it.
So we see a Tory Gate with a flight of stairs leading up through some woodland, and we come into a cave, and there's some kind of spirit creature resting in the cave. And as we see, Peach delves into like horror and fantasy a lot as well. So there's more like slightly horrific images in here as well.
I can't understand the top left.
So she's seeing a spirit sort of hanging over a female character.
But it's making blood, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. And then there's a part of a mask. There's a mouthpiece of a mask, which looks like Japanese, you know, samurai armour.
Does it look? Is it supposed to be suggesting that thingy goes onto her and then it makes those things?
It could be, yeah. And then we come into the following page, and it sort of makes sense now that he had these slightly surreal images because it was actually a dream.
Oh,
so we
right.
have,
isn't it always?
yeah.
You know what strikes me to begin with?
Yeah.
I can't even see whether it's upper or lowercase. Could say tiddly.
It is uppercase.
So it's tiddly and uppercase.
Tiddly and uppercase. So yeah. All the
lost a couple of points there.
The narration to the story is all in uppercase. But we introduces the main character, Mariko Yoshida. So Mariko, and she finds out that she's a child of an Oni, which is a demon or ogre in Japanese mythology.
Right. What's this about her feet?
I think what she's doing is she's talking about how she discovered that she was
strange.
She's got a strange background, and we see her. The next scene, the next panel is them sitting there, I think, eating breakfast, and there's an emergency broadcast for an earthquake. Japan has a lot of earthquakes.
Yeah, I know. What's her feet doing?
So this looks like a pedestrian crossing, and we've just got a pair of feet.
Oh, I thought you know what? I thought that was steps.
No, it's a pedestrian crossing. You see a lot of crossings, especially in Japanese cities. They have big like squares of crossings.
As we do.
Yeah.
As the pelicans, though.
Yeah.
So she's just, everybody else is running away. She just stands still in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
Right. Why?
I don't know. We'll find out more as we go along.
Okay.
Okay. So we turn over the page, and Mariko is going to catch the train. Obviously, you know, in Japan they use the trains to get around a lot more between cities and schools and stuff like that.
Yeah, as do we.
As do we, yeah. Yeah, it's more akin to the London Underground that we have. It seems to be that they use trains as a more common form of transport than we would.
Well, in London, where we're the only, that's the only, is that the only city we've got with the tube? I'm not sure.
It is actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, most people, certainly people who live there, use the tube
Yeah.
rather than anything else. We use the buses as well, of course. Relatively few people drive into London because there's so many people that live there and driving around.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And lorries and all the rest of it
Yeah.
going in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's now in somewhere. Oh, I can't see what's happening.
So she's got onto the train to go to either school or work. I think she's going to school from the way that she's dressed. She's dressed in quite a traditional Japanese female school uniform.
Right. Well, everybody else is leaving because there's an earthquake and she's still going to school.
Well, I don't know what happened with that. I don't know what happened with that.
Missed a bit then.
Missed a bit. But she's sitting there on the train, and she said, I've been seeing weird stuff lately, and there's lots of like yokai, which are spirits or ghosts, appearing.
Yeah, all over the place.
All over the place.
And bits of them by the looks of it.
Yeah, so she's walking along a typical residential street.
Excuse me.
And yeah, she's the way that it sort of picks apart the two worlds, with where it's more like the real world, it's done in like greys and muted tones, but then the spirit world is shown in much brighter, more vibrant colours.
Total opposite as I would do if I was doing it.
You do vibrant for the real world.
Yeah, I'd do real world in proper colours.
Yeah.
And the spirit world
I think it's gone.
would be less clear, you know. And,
I think the reason Peach has chosen to do this, and it's quite a common way of doing it, when you have characters that are sort of like experiencing two different worlds, the so-called normal world that they're in tends to be very drab and grey and sort of quite plain, whereas the fantasy world, where they which is where they would really like to be, is more bright and vibrant and inviting. So it's used in film, it's used in TV, or any kind of visual storytelling. It's kind of a device that's used. So, you know, you would see a character coming out of a black and white piece of film into colour, like in The Wizard of Oz.
Spielberg. Oh no, I was thinking of the Spielberg. Remember that little girl in the coat?
In Schindler's List, yeah, with the red
right.
coat, yeah. But I mean, yeah, it's The Wizard of Oz did it. It started in black and white, and then when Dorothy goes on, arrives in Oz, everything becomes full colour. And I think it was the first film that was made in full colour, the first full colour film. And then we see Mariko at school doing her work.
There's other people there too.
There's other people there. You can see other students sitting in the classroom. But she's obviously very distracted. She probably is bored. She's bored at school. You know, it's quite typical for kids to be bored at school.
Yep.
So we've still got some of the spirit creatures.
There's a cat trying to...
And here comes the first appearance of one of our little kittens.
A bit of luck, she'll just walk around, not knock anything down.
She's actually been very good. Good girl, Ophelia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So she's bored at school and then she makes up or sees these weird things.
She's imagining these, yokai or spirits.
Right. Is this going home?
So this is later in the day when she's returned home.
And she has a lovely bath. No bubbles.
Yeah, she has a big slope. Here comes Oberon. He's going to be...
do that.
He's going to be a little bit more... Hello.
So she's having her nice bath. What, she's got toys in there?
No, she says that I don't have a strange little creature sailing in my bathtub. So she's seeing these little creatures, the Oni and everything all over the place. And then she goes to bed.
Yep.
And
this is at night time, I suppose.
Yeah, goes to sleep. And we have a big panel.
Dreams.
Yeah, it's with dreams with spirits being seen. all over the place. And there we go. Ophelia's decided to sit on top of the comic, just about.
That's what cats do.
That's what cats do.
Right, she's having these dreams, something with lots of eyes.
Yeah, I mean, that's quite typical in sort of fairy tales, and especially in Japanese like mythology, that they'll have creatures with lots of eyes. I watch a lot of old Japanese TV, and there's lots of fights with monsters in there, and usually quite a lot of them have like multiple eyes and stuff like that.
Right, well, this one's got eyes on its what looks like its hand.
Yeah. So you can see all these things. The bottom of the panel is like done in almost black. It's in a very dark grey, and then all of the spirits that are above Mariko are picked out in colour.
Now she's awake, and it looks like they're in the corner.
Yeah, and then they're going off. They're wandering down the hall, but she goes to follow them. She follows the spirits.
Oh, I've been attacked by kitty claws.
Oh dear, the claws are out.
Right, can't get me now.
And we see Mariko running, and then there's what looks like a priest from the way that the character is dressed. And then on the following page, we see her standing outside a torii gate. A torii gate is a kind of gate that are quite very often at Japanese temples or at places that have spiritual significance. They're sort of a very tall gate, almost sometimes as tall as a house, with 2 bars going across the top of it.
I thought you had something like a priest standing there.
You have got a priest standing there here at the bottom.
Have you?
Yeah, there's the priest character that we see here. But yeah, he's standing by the torii gate, and you can see a flight of stairs with these lanterns up in the distance. And then Mariko walks past the priest character and decides to go through the gate. As she does, it's almost like there's a frame of her putting her hand down. It's almost like she's putting her hand through water. It's all right, I've got a kitten curled up next to me now.
Oh, upside down for some peculiar
Upside
reason.
down, yeah. You're an upside down kitten, aren't you, Oberon? Eh?
Yeah. No time to play with kittens at the moment.
And then we come into full colour, and we see Mariko, and she's dressed very much more in traditional Japanese dress, kind of a short kimono jacket. And we can see all these paper lanterns everywhere. And she comes across this little character called Oami. And so she'd be waiting for her.
Could you spell it for me, please? I can't read that.
Oami.
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 I expect it's nothing like that.
So she says, "Come on, Princess Mariko, this way." And they start wandering off, and she goes up the stairs, and then they come into like what is like a market. This is quite traditional Japanese, like with temples at times of.
Is it feast days and stuff?
Yeah,
They have it all going on.
Yeah, when there's I can't think of the right word. My words are failing me today a bit.
Come back to it if you could think of it. The thing that strikes me is she's beautifully coloured now, herself.
Yeah. So now that we're fully immersed in the dream, the colours are much brighter. There's lots of lovely reds being seen.
Oh, hang on. Here. We're in the dream now.
We're in the dream now.
I thought she was in real life.
No.
Then.
We saw her in real life, and then the creatures came. Then she imagined the creatures coming over her, and then she followed them. And that's then,
I thought
and
she'd
she's
woken
entered
up
into
then.
she's entered into the dream world.
Oh, right. I'd be wearing something really glamorous if I was in a dream world.
So there's all these stalls here for the festival, and she wants to sample the food. They always sell lots of like delicious sweets and stuff like delicious food.
Yes.
And then we go bottom of the page. They're going to go into a cave, but like Mariko says, "You want me to go in there because it's a tiny little hole." But Oami says, "Don't worry, it's much bigger on the inside."
Oh, it's a TARDIS.
So it's a TARDIS.
Obviously.
And then we come into the next page, and there's a large character dressed in like traditional. Hello, Oberon. Keep going, mate. Thank you. Yeah, so there's a character dressed in traditional Japanese like samurai armor. So this is a reimagining of a Marvel character. And I don't know if you can guess who it is.
Let me see.
By the colours might give it away.
No.
So red and yellow armor. I think this is supposed to be it's Peach's interpretation of Iron Man. Iron Man's armor is red.
I had no idea.
Red
of
and
that.
yellow.
I don't know anything about Iron Man.
Have you seen any of the films?
Don't think so.
Anyway, so she's going to stand up against this big armor-bound creature, and she goes.
Supposed to be both? Are they supposed to be both of them goodies?
I don't know. I think the Iron Man character is kind of guarding the way through to something, and Mariko is going to have to get past him. But
Well, you've seen the films, so is he a goodie or a baddie?
he's a goodie in films. Yeah, Iron Man is a good character. He's part of the Avengers, so he's a good guy. He's been interpreted here as a guard to somewhere that Mariko has got to go.
So he might let, if he's a goodie and she's a goodie, he'd let her through, wouldn't he?
Yeah, probably. So we have a nice page of Mariko and the Iron Man character in combat. She reaches into his belt, grabs another one of his swords, so she has a sword to fight with him.
What's happening now? She's looking. Oh.
Yeah, she's looking a bit fierce. So the Iron Man character has grabbed a floating orb, and he gets a bow and arrow and goes to shoot her with a bow and arrow. But then a bird-like character appears on the next page and wraps his wings around Mariko to protect her.
Right.
So I think this is supposed to be Hawkeye, who is the character in the Marvel universe who uses a bow and arrow. A bit like Green Arrow we've been watching lately.
I'm just trying to think. Hawkeye, wasn't that a character in a sort of American comedy, a really old one?
You're thinking of MASH.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hawkeye was a character in MASH. In the
I don't know
American
how
comedy.
I know that, because actually I've never watched
Yeah,
it.
I used to watch it when I was little.
Well, that must be how I know it.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was named after that, was it, the character?
I don't know if it was. I don't know if there's a connection there. I know that whether it was. I'd have to look it up, to be honest. Hawkeye is another part of one of the Avengers.
So he's telling Iron Man, pack it in, you've got the wrong person here.
Basically, yeah.
What do you think you're doing?
Yeah. He's talking to Mariko
Who's
here.
that?
So this is
Birdman.
This is the Birdman character. This is Hawkeye, because it's like it's wearing a mask like a hawk, but again very much in the Japanese style, the way that like the armor is set up and stuff like that.
Right. What's that face at the top? She's looking upset.
Mariko. I don't know. She's kind of got quite a neutral expression on her face. Really?
Yeah, no personality.
Yeah, I think she's still, because she's found out that she's not just human. She's a little bit bewildered by this new information.
Yes, as would I be.
Yeah. But then the Hawkeye character talks to the Iron Man character, and the Iron Man, he bows down to her and gives her apologies for attacking her and trying to get her.
Yeah. So they sort that out.
Yeah.
So he is a goodie. He just made a little mistake there.
Yeah, and then the following pages we have a feast of lots of traditional Japanese food. There's lots of rice and sushi and fresh fruits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they're all having.
What are these fruit? I thought lychee there, but
I think
not the big one.
They might be lychee,
Did you get big lychee?
I'm not sure.
I haven't had it for ages.
Yeah.
One of my favourites.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there she is. Is she eating things?
She's eating, yeah. She's having some rice balls and stuff like that. And then another character appears who's like based on Japanese mythology. I mean, the whole thing is based on Japanese mythology, but this is a character, you know, more directly from mythology. So Ibugami, who comes to talk to Mariko and starts talking about what's happened with this sort of demon character that we saw at the very beginning of the comic. So he's telling the story, and then we see another character who's introduced, who is an interpretation of the Black Panther character.
I think you need an interpreter.
I think I do need an interpreter. I'm not doing very well today.
Yeah.
But it's clear here that the people are trying to capture this sort of evil spirit, and the Black Panther character is there to help with this.
Is that an advertisement for something else?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, we can ignore that then.
We can ignore that. Yeah. This is fairly conventional that they'll advertise their own titles in there.
But in the middle of a story is a bit odd.
Yeah.
A bit pushy. I'll tell you what, it's like YouTube.
It is a bit like YouTube. I mean, it's weird. I think we'd have to look at older comics, but it's quite normal to have adverts for their own titles within a title.
Yes, but not in the middle of a story.
Well, no, it was more prevalent, especially if you looked at comics in the 80s, especially Marvel and DC comics in the 80s, that you would have adverts, you know, partway through a story. You wouldn't have the story self-contained and then adverts, which is more common now.
So it's sensible.
If you look at a lot of publishers, a lot more the more independent publishers like Dark Horse or Image tend to allow the story to run as a full 20 pages or whatever it is, and then put the adverts in afterwards.
In my opinion, that's quite right too.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the way it should be. Yeah. So Ibugami is still is wrapping up the end of his story, and Mariko is sitting there with Oami and the Hawkeye character.
So they're all friends now.
They're all friends now.
And then what's going on? I can't make head nor tail of that.
They're trying. I think that the Iron Man character is quite wary of the Hawkeye character.
Oh, right. They're not friends.
He accuses him of being a traitor.
Harsh.
Yeah, a bit harsh. And flies off as the Iron Man character. Ironically, shooting with a bow and arrow.
Shooting the bird character.
Yeah.
I mean, he ought to have that taken away from him. He'll have somebody's eye out with that, won't he?
But it's clear that Mariko has been brought into this world to try and sort out the problems that are going on there. You know, she's a princess. She's like a royalty within that world. So she's been brought in to sort stuff out. And then the very bottom panel of this page here, we see it's a bit surreal, but clearly what's happened is that Mariko has woken up, and she says a dream. She's fallen asleep on the train.
She was in her bed 5 minutes ago.
But it could be that this is all still part of the dream.
Oh dear.
She's woken up on the train.
He does not look well.
No. But you got another kind of priest character. It's quite common for you in Japan to see priests that he's sweeping the stairs here.
And no, shaved heads, yeah.
Shaved heads, very traditional.
Or even shaved heads with a little bobbly bit on the top.
Yeah. And
What's
then
going on there?
The last page of this story, so this is the end of the first chapter, I guess you would call it. You see a Tory gate there, and Mariko just peering through it. You can just see the little sort of sacred ribbons that they have up there.
And that was the one she was dreaming about. And look, there's a doodah.
Yeah, so there's little bits of colour here. So there's bits of the dream world poking through.
Yes.
Yeah. And then one of the lovely things that that they do quite often with a lot of Peach's comics, because she reinterprets Western stories with Eastern characters, there's a lovely setup at the back here. It's called the Yokai Files, and it's giving descriptions of the main characters that we see in the story and telling you who they are in Japanese mythology, sort of like so in the history.
Wouldn't it have been sensible to have that at the beginning?
Well, yeah, but it would make more sense to have it at the beginning, but again, it's quite common. Stan Sakai does this quite often with Usagi. He'll, after the story's been told, he'll give the background to it, whether it's, you know, it's from history and stuff like that.
Right, does it assume that people aren't like me? I would never look at the end of a comic before I'd read the beginning.
Probably not. I think
other people do.
I think you're slightly unusual in that.
I'm logical.
Yeah. See, the logical thing to me is to read it through first and then read the background information afterwards. So it deepens your understanding of the story after you've read it.
Yeah, well, deepen it before you read it. Tell you what to look out
See,
for.
that's because you've got a logical brain, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, logical and a visual.
Best show.
Anyway, so and then there's an ad, and then the last page of the actual comic is this is the painting that's for the cover of the next issue for part 2 of the story.
That Ms. Marvel, that's rings a bell, but I don't know why.
Yeah, Ms. Marvel was a TV series they did on Disney Plus, which I watched. It was really good fun.
I wouldn't know about that necessarily.
No, you've not really watched a lot of the Marvel stuff.
So, but I still remember that. Must be advertised somewhere, I suppose.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, that's Demon Wars issue 1. Peach, works in this lovely sort of watercolour style. She works with watercolours and inks and so on, and obviously has much more of a Japanese aesthetic, sort of a manga aesthetic to her artwork, as opposed to more Western American style artwork.
Yeah, can I give it Oh, so you got more to say?
Yeah, I was going to say, because the latest, she's returned. She's done a lot of work for Marvel. We've got a very comfortable little kitten here, getting some fuss. Peach seems to have found a home at Marvel, and she's done a lot. She's just finished a run, her reinterpretation of the X-Men, which are another group of.
I know about those. I've seen that. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, the X-Men films were originally...
Is that where they wore suits and sunglasses and one of them was Will Thingy?
Yeah.
Gosh, I got it right.
Yeah.
I think I've seen one.
Yeah, anyway, I'm losing my thread a lot today. So yeah, Peach works in much more of a Japanese, sort of almost like a manga style. She has said that she was originally more influenced by Western art, but over time that her own culture has seeped back in. So she's very sought after as a variant cover artist. You know,
I can see why, because I very much like the colours and that. Sorry.
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, yeah.
I'm itching to give my points.
Okay.
But I don't want to stop you.
Well, she's just finished a series called Psy Dimension. Psy is a character she introduced, I think, later in the Demon Wars series. So it's another strong female character, and she goes through lots of alternate, multiple universes within the Marvel. Within the Marvel world. But this one was really brilliant because even though she wrote and drew some of it, she's had some really great artists come in and do chapters within the story. So when Sai goes into a different dimension, it's drawn by a different artist. So Stan Sakai, who we've talked about before, Jim Food we've talked about before. Jim and Peach are good friends, and as well as Stan and Peach are good friends as well. They've worked together quite a lot. So, and she has actually won awards for her cover work. Good. So she's won Eisner and Ringo awards, which get, like we said before, kind of like the Oscars of the comic world.
Eisner, I've never heard of Ringo apart from the drummer in the Beatles, of course.
Yeah, Ringo, I believe, is derived from Mike Wieringo, who was a comic writer, I think. I'd have to double check that, but they're awards that are given every year. But yeah, I really like the way Peach does stuff. I love her storytelling. I'm really into Japanese culture and sort of TV and films and so on, and mythology. So I really enjoyed this series. It was really nice, and it's fun trying to work out who the characters are as you read through it, trying to work out which character from the Marvel universe they are, which superhero they are. Yeah. So now I'll hand over to Eliza Moreau because she's itching to give her scores.
I've lost my train of thought now.
Sorry, that's because I butted in, didn't I?
Well, the colours, on the whole, I really like the colours, so that was good. The writing, though, not only uppercase, but honestly, I'd need a magnifying glass for that. It was tiddly and with no good reason because there was space for it to be more. So
Yeah.
I don't know. And yet, also, there's this big Japanese bits which are, they're big and clear to see, and our writing was tiddly. Fighting, there wasn't much of it. There was just that bit, and it was part of the story. It wasn't just a great big barn with everybody getting in and spending 3 pages with everybody knocking 7 bells out of each other.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I thought that was the right amount of fighting. But it was part of the story. It was properly part of the story. So I think this gets quite a lot, really. It loses a lot for that little bit of writing. But the rest of it, so it's got to be 8. It could have got 10 if it had done the what's the word for it? The text.
If the text had been upper and lowercase and larger.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I that's one of the best ones I've seen.
No, I'm glad. I thought you'd like Peach's work. It is she has a really lovely style of drawing. She's very in demand. Nearly if there's a new series launching, it's quite common for her to do a variant cover for stuff. But she still does her own stuff as well. As I say, she seems to have found a home at Marvel, and they're quite happy for her to do her interpretation of their characters.
Well, it's only good advertisements for them, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've got some graphic novels waiting for me, which is her take on the X-Men, which I'm really looking forward to reading because I do quite like the X-Men as a group of characters. So I'm looking forward to seeing how she does it. She's done the covers for those are really great. They're very much set in. I think she's literally taken them and set it in Japan. So it's lots of you'd have characters outside storefronts and stuff like that, and you'd have like motorbikes and things like that. Very more Japanese architecture and that sort of stuff, which to me is really cool. I really like that kind of stuff.
And I probably wouldn't notice. I'd see what they were doing, and that's the end of it.
No, but you said that, there's me watching Godzilla films and Japanese TV shows and stuff like that. So I get
I'm
to
watching
see.
The Arrow, watching Supergirl, and we watched, what was that, Flash, was it?
We started on Supergirl, then we went to Flash. Now we're working our way through Arrow at the moment.
Which on the whole, I thought was much better than all of them, except Arrow's got a bit peculiar at the moment. And it keeps going back in time, and I can't be bothered to work with that.
The way it's flashing backwards and forwards is very confusing. Yeah.
But on the whole, still enjoying it. So, and going to X-Men, you said that she's got a take on X-Men. Do they look the same with their nice suits and sunglasses and whatever?
I think she's picked up on like the colours, but I believe she's put them more into like street clothes. The clothes echo the costumes of the X-Men characters. But I think she's done more of an urban setting. This seems to be a bit of her thing. She likes to put characters more into, even though she draws fantastical stuff, she centres it more around the real world.
Well, wasn't the X-Men, the films, they were, presumably happening.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It wasn't. Yeah, even though it is a fantasy because we know superheroes aren't real. That's like saying Santa's not real.
No, it's obvious nonsense. Of course they are.
Yeah.
Well, I'm quite happy with the Arrow being real. but no care about the rest.
Yeah, not too bothered.
No.
Yeah, and I'm very impressed that our kittens have been very well behaved while I've been doing all of this.
They're tired.
Yeah, I think that they're all tuckered out. I've got a young Oberon fast asleep on me at the moment.
Yeah, and Breeze the dog.
Breeze, our dog, is crashed out as well. So I think we've tied them.
They were running round together earlier.
Yeah, we found that having kittens is very good for Breeze because she's a lot more active now.
But also, she went downhill when we had about 6 months ago. We had to have our. How old was she?
So Arabella was 20.
Cat. Yeah, 20-year-old Lady Arabella cat put down, and Breeze really, really missed her. So now that we're in kitten season, somebody offered us these ones. They needed a home.
So we've taken in 2 kittens.
To begin with, it was a bit chaotic with the dog, and they were in the cage, but they've worked it out together now. And,
yeah, they seem to get on really well. We have got pictures of them all curled up together. So yeah.
Yes, I think that Breeze pretty much puts up with them.
I think so. Yeah.
They're either chasing around when she feels like running around, or she just puts up with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, this has been really good.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I like Peach's
you.
work a lot. I'm definitely a fan. I just think it's a beautiful style. I love the way she tells stories, and it's just really great stuff. And I hope she continues to be successful. You know, she still is incredibly popular.
Why wouldn't she?
Yeah.
With all that talent.
Absolutely. So there we go. There's Doom Wars #1, the Iron Samurai. So it alludes to the red armoured character being Iron Man, and so it's all.
Oh, yeah, I'd forgotten it was the Iron Samurai. Samurai.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Okay then. Well, I'm going to get in first then. Have a good week. Bye.
Bye.